amazing whenever you are watching this video. In today's video, I am going to be doing the TMI tag. I'm sure that you guys have all been seeing this video float around the ASMR community. I feel like this was really popular back in the day with the beauty guru community in like the 2016 era, but I've been seeing a bunch of ASMR creators do it recently, and I wanted to join in. And sometimes I just think it can be really nice to sit down and talk and not really have a full video production, I guess, and just be able to share a little bit more about my life with you guys. So I have the questions printed out in front of me, and I am going to jump in. There are 50 questions, so hopefully this video is not too long, but I do love to yap, so we will see. Let's jump into question number 1, which is, what are you wearing? So I will start from top to bottom. I have my hair up in a ponytail. I thought about wearing it down, and then I remembered that I was going to be sitting in front of the window and decided to put my hair up. Then the next thing that I have is my earrings. These are just some gold hoop earrings that I got from Amazon. This necklace is kind of 2 parts because the actual pendant is from Disney World. It is a gold circle with some stars and a little Mickey Mouse cut out. I don't know how well you can see that, but the original chain that it came on got tarnished, so I bought a new chain from Amazon. So it's Disney and Amazon. Then I just have this teal t-shirt on that is from Michael's, I believe, from Michael's, the craft store. I have my Apple Watch on all the time, some ponytails on also all the time. I just can't live without a hair tie, I guess. I have my wedding ring and engagement band on, which I got my rings, well, my husband got my rings from Shane Co. And then my nails are press-on nails, also from Amazon. Really great quality. And then I just have jeans on from Old Navy. So very plain and simple. Question number 2. Have you ever been in love? Yes, I have. I married the love of my life. I love my husband so much, and I also think that I have had a lot of love for many people close in my life. I think that you can love so many people, and like, you might end up marrying one person, but you can still spread love to so many people. And I feel very grateful that I have had a lot of friends and family members who I love dearly, and I'm so thankful to have in my life. Number 3 is, have you ever had a terrible breakup? Yes. So I really did not date a whole lot before my husband and I met. I had 2 tiny little relationships. One lasted like 2 weeks, and by the end of the first official date, I was like, nope, and I kind of just cut him off. I kind of just called it quits. And then the second person, we dated for 1 month, and he told me he loved me, and then I also had that gut feeling of like, nope, this is not it. Sorry if the lighting is changing. The sun is going behind the clouds. So after he had told me he loved me, I was like, nope, that's not for me. But then I had one longer relationship before my husband, and that was about a year and a half long, and then he broke up with me out of nowhere. It was my first time being broken up with, and my first real relationship where I thought that I loved him, I thought that he loved me. And so when he broke up with me, that was definitely a hard time and a big learning experience. Now, looking back, I'm so grateful that I went through that, because I feel like I can be a better wife, I can be a better friend because of the things that I learned throughout that breakup, if that makes sense. So it sucked, but I'm thankful to have had that learning opportunity. Number 4 is, how tall are you? I am 6 feet tall. I am very tall, especially for a woman. Yeah, I am 6 feet tall. I've always been very tall. I don't know, let me know in the comments, would you have guessed that I am tall or short? I'm curious as to what you guys think. Then number 5 is, how much do you weigh? I don't know that I want to share that for the whole internet. I am not super comfortable with my body at the moment, and I am really working on working out and trying to make healthier choices to get to a point where I would be more comfortable sharing. So I'm going to leave that up to a mystery. Number 6, do you have any tattoos? I do not have any tattoos. I have a whole Pinterest board full of tattoo ideas, but I just cannot get myself to permanently put any of them on my body. My husband has a bunch of tattoos, and honestly, him having tattoos has really made me want to get some tattoos, but I have not yet gotten any. And then number 7 is, any piercings? I only have my ears pierced. I have my doubles pierced, but that is it. I think it would be really fun to get more ear piercings, but I don't know. I've never taken the leap to get more ear piercings. Number 8 is OTP, which means your one true pairing, or like, who is your favorite fictional couple, pretty much is my understanding. I don't know that I have a favorite. I guess Mickey and Minnie Mouse, okay? I love Disney, so we can go with Mickey and Minnie Mouse. I always loved the dystopian book series that were coming out when I grew up. So I loved like Katniss and Peeta. I loved Triss and Four from Divergent. Any dystopian type of couple, or like the Disney original movies, you know, you gotta love Shane and Mitchie, Troy and Gabriella, like all the classics. So I don't know, I don't really have a favorite. Number 9 is your favorite show. Your favorite show. I think that I would have to go with Ted Lasso as my favorite show. It is such a good show and has so many funny parts, but also so many learning and teachable moments. It is really awesome in my opinion. Number 10 is your favorite band. Your only band that I could think of would be the Jonas Brothers. I don't know if they're technically a band, but I love the Jonas Brothers. There are some worship groups that I really love. Maverick City Music and Elevation Worship. Yeah, so I'll stick to those. Number 11 is something that you miss. I often think about my childhood and just missing, like, being a kid. I miss when Disney movies were the thing that I look forward to on, Friday nights when they put out a new Disney Channel original movie, or when a new episode of my favorite TV show came on, when I would just come home and go on to, like, Webkins or different gaming websites and just play games all afternoon, or having pool parties in the summer. We had like an above ground pool that we would set up every summer, and my birthday is June 6th, so I always had like 2 or 3 friends come over, and we would just go swimming and then have some cupcakes or something, and it was just so much simpler back in the day, and I just miss being a kid, I think it's as simple as that. I miss seeing my friends at school every day and not having too busy of a schedule to hang out with people. Like, it was just better being a kid. Number 12 is your favorite song. Your favorite song. I don't know if I have a favorite. I think I would have to say anything by Ben Platt. Ben Platt is a musical artist who has really impacted a lot of my life. I listened to like his first album when I was going through my breakup that I talked about earlier, and then those songs really helped me to get through that season. And as I met my husband, more of his songs, I was able to relate to more of the love songs, and then his music ended up being the song that I walked down the aisle to on my wedding day and my first dance song with my dad. So Ben Platt in general is probably my top musical artist, so a lot of his songs really have a special meaning to me. I don't think I could pick one favorite. Number 13 is how old are you? I am 26. And 14 is your zodiac sign. I am a Gemini. June 6th was my birthday, so I am a Gemini. Number 15 is a quality that you look for in a partner. I was thinking about this question beforehand, and I don't know what my top quality would be. One of my favorite qualities that I have really loved over time with my husband is how much he makes me laugh and how much we're able to laugh together. And I think that is just like the, one of the cherries on top. He is so loyal to me. He is protective in like a good way and not a possessive way, if that makes sense. He always wants to learn. My husband is constantly learning new things, constantly wanting to improve, and that makes me want to improve and be better at whatever it is that I am working towards. I really admire my husband as a person, and every quality that I could possibly think of is just like what I have seen from him. He cares about people. If you talk to him, he will remember whatever 6 months from now and he will ask you about it. He just really cares about people. He wants to learn. He's funny. He's handsome, which is, the cherry on top. But yeah, I could go on and on. So basically, the qualities that I look for in a partner are just my husband. That's all. Number 16. Number 16 is, what is your favorite quote? I don't know that I have a favorite quote that I always go back to, but I do appreciate any quote that says something along the lines of, if you fall down 10 times, get up 11 times, or like, falling is a part of living, but getting up, or falling is a part of life, but getting up is living. Anything that is a reminder to try again. I can be so hard on myself for failing or messing up, and sometimes I just feel defeated and I don't want to try again. So I always need the reminder that it is okay to mess up as long as you keep going and you keep trying. Number 17 is your favorite actor. Your favorite actor. I don't know. Maybe like Tom Hanks, or I don't know. Tom Hanks is definitely up there. I love Selena Gomez in her acting roles. I loved her in Wizards of Waverly Place growing up. I love her in Only Murders in the Building. She definitely doesn't act often, so every time that I see her in something, I'm like, oh, I just love it. I also love Zendaya. I think she is so talented. I don't know, I'm sure there are people that I'm forgetting. I just can't think of anyone else. Number 18. Number 18 is your favorite color. Your favorite color. My favorite color is blue. It has been my favorite color as long as I can remember. Purple is a close second. A close second. But blue is definitely my favorite. Number 19 is loud music or soft music. I love some loud music when I'm in the car. I've been jamming out to music today. And whenever I'm in the mood, I love some loud music to just belt out to. But if I'm like reading or working, then I definitely have to have soft music. So it just depends on what I'm doing. I probably listen to louder music more often than I listen to soft music. Where do you go when you are sad is number 20. Probably my bed. I would say if I'm sad, I'm most likely crying, and I do a lot of my crying in bed. So yeah, probably my bed. 21 is, how long does it take you to shower? I average like 25 minutes for my showers. If I'm washing my hair, it's more like 30 to 35 minutes. My husband definitely gets on me about taking long showers, so I try to pay attention to what time it is, and I really try to limit myself to 20 minutes. But yeah, 25 minutes is probably about the time that it takes, and if I'm washing my hair, it definitely takes longer because I have a lot of it. So yeah. Number 22 is, how long does it take you to get ready in the morning? I personally wake up 2 hours before I have to leave for work every morning. It does not take me 2 full hours to get ready. I like to sit at my desk where I put my makeup on, and I will scroll on my phone. Sometimes I'm like sitting there doing crafts or doing projects that I needed to get done, and I'm like, okay, I've got some time, I'll just do that. So a lot of that time is just me dilly-dallying and twiddling my thumbs. I would say it probably takes me an hour of that time to actually put on my makeup, do my hair, and get dressed. Yeah, so an hour, but I spend 2 hours in the morning getting ready, if that makes sense. Like, I allot myself 2 hours, but it only takes me about an hour to actually get ready. Number 23 is, have you ever been in a physical fight? No, I definitely fought with my sister growing up. And I mean, it was physical, but it was like a sibling fight, so no one ever got injured. No, like, black eyes or bruises or anything. And I've never been in a legitimate fight where I was angry at someone and we were fighting. I've been in many verbal fights before, but never a physical fight. Next, I'm going to combine number 24 and 25, which are your turn on and your turn off. I'll start with a turn off because that was easier to think of, and that would be lying. I cannot get behind people who lie consistently, or who are just like not genuine. I need someone who can be genuine with me and honest with me, and yeah, I am not a fan of liars, personally. Also, bad hygiene will always be a turnoff. If someone cannot take care of themselves, that definitely would not be a turn on. But then regarding a turn on, I think for me, just having quality time with someone. I think, like, when I met my husband, the moment that made me fall in love with him was just seeing how in tune to me he was, and he was really listening and paying attention, and that was like, oh my gosh, I really appreciate that and love that, and he has continued to do that. So for me, it's just about spending quality time with my husband and learning more about each other emotionally and like internally, and then that allows me to love him even more and more. I don't know if that's technically a turn on, but I guess a physical turn on. Let's see, from my husband specifically, he has a really beautiful smile. My husband has such a good smile, and he is muscular, and that definitely was attractive to me. So I guess those would be the physical things, but when it comes to personality wise, I just need someone that I can have really deep conversations with and who listens to me, because I like to talk. And then number 26 is the reason I joined YouTube. So I'll give the backstory. I started watching YouTube when I was 11 years old because my sister was going into high school, and she started doing color guard, which is part of the marching band, but they have flags that they spin, and they do kind of a routine, almost like a dance routine, but with flags included. And she had to do marching band camp in the summer, so I had no one to hang out with because my sister and I are best friends. So every summer growing up, we just spent all of our time together. But this summer, she went to camp. So I started finding beauty videos on YouTube and learning how to do different hairstyles and makeup. And that's when I became a girly girl and started my love for makeup, which I still love. I still love doing hair and makeup and my nails. So honestly, YouTube really gave me a passion for all things girly in that sense. And then when I was 13 or 14 years old, one of my close friends introduced me to ASMR because I was texting her about how I couldn't sleep, and she was like, this is a video that I watch that helps me sleep. It was a video from Maria, Gentle Whispering ASMR, and I watched it every day after that, and then I just fell more and more in love with ASMR videos. And I've honestly wanted to make videos since I was 15 or 16 years old. Honestly, probably even before that, probably 12 or 13, but I never had the courage to do it. And my husband definitely encouraged me last year that I should do it. So I finally did it. I finally joined the club, and here we are. And now I just love the community. I didn't think that I would have my own little community, but you guys have been so special and so loving, and regardless of the time that it takes to grow my channel, I love doing this, and I love talking to anyone who watches my videos. And I don't know, I just think YouTube is such a cool platform to be a part of, so I love it. Number 27 is your fears. So this one might be a little bit dark, so you can skip ahead. My biggest fear is actually not being able to have a child. I don't know. I have always wanted to have kids, and the older that I get, the more often that I hear about people losing their babies or not being able to have kids. And ever since being married, I think that the devil is using this as a position in my life where he can attack me, and I'm not going to allow that, okay? I'm going to trust that God will do what God does, but I do have this fear that looms around my head that I, for some reason, wouldn't be able to have kids. So yeah, that is my biggest fear, and I hope that that is not the case, and hopefully in these next few years I can come on here and tell you guys that it's not the case and that I would be having a kid. But as of now, I am not having a kid yet. So that has been just a fear that I have been learning to get over. Other than that, I don't really have any typical fears. I don't have a fear of water. I don't have a fear of heights. I don't have a fear of bugs or snakes or anything like that. I don't love confined spaces, so maybe a little bit claustrophobic, but not really. Yeah, I don't know, that might have been a little bit heavier than some people's answers, but that's just the honest truth for me. Then 28 is the last thing that made you cry. Oh, I know. This one was silly. I was getting really, really frustrated because my husband was trying to help me with an app on my phone, and for some reason it wasn't connecting, and I was really tired and I was getting really frustrated, and he told me like to stop having an attitude or something. He was like, don't act like that. And he wasn't being mean. He was just like putting me in my place, as he should. But it made me cry. So that was the last thing to make me cry. I think it was truly just because I was so tired and I was becoming frustrated. It was not his fault, just to clarify. Then number 29 is the last time you said you loved someone. This morning before I went to work, I always tell my husband that I love him many, many times. It's probably annoying, but you know, I do love him, so I'm gonna tell him, and he's gonna deal with me telling him I love him 7 times before I leave for work. Number 30 is the meaning behind your YouTube name. Pretty plain and simple. My name is Sarah. My last name is Harris, and I do ASMR. So, Sarah Harris ASMR. Number 31 is the last book you read. I finished a book on audio. It is Hello Girls by Emily Henry and Brittany. Dang, what's her last name? Like I don't know. Brittany something with a C. I'm so sorry. It was alright. It was definitely a weird book, but I listened to the audiobook in like 2 days. I love Emily Henry, so I wanted to read it. I don't know. I'd probably give it like a 3.5 stars out of 5. It was fun. It was jam-packed with chaos, but it was also just very unrealistic, and like I couldn't really picture myself in the shoes of either of the main characters, so it felt more like I was just watching a dramatic movie, if that makes sense. I love to be able to kind of insert myself into the shoes of whatever character I'm reading about, and this one was just very unrelatable, but it was fine. Number 32 is the book that you are currently reading. I'm currently reading 2 books, 1 physical book and 1 audiobook. So the audiobook that I'm listening to is called Blood in the Water by Tiffany Jackson. I just randomly found this audiobook through my library's app that they have, and I started listening to it. I'm not super far into it, but it seems like just an easy read, so nothing too intense. And then I started reading Sunrise on the Reaping. I'm reading that book so slowly. The issue is that I don't want to read it quickly because I don't want to finish it. I just always feel like the Hunger Games series is not long enough. I'm like, we want more, but I'm afraid that this one could be the last book, so I'm really trying to soak in my first read of it. I hope that that makes sense to any other book girlies out there. Like, I just really don't want to read it quickly because I don't want it to be over. Number 33 is the last show you watched. I think the last show that I watched was an episode of Unsolved Mysteries on Netflix. My husband and I watched an episode. We usually watch movies, so I think that that was the last show that we watched. I really wanted to get into that show because I always see Chelsea from ASMR with Chelsea. She always does videos going over her favorite unsolved mysteries or just talking about different mysteries, and it's so intriguing to me that I wanted to watch an episode or two. So yeah, I want to watch more. I might just watch it without my husband because I feel like he's not as intrigued as I am, but I just really want to watch them because it is so incredibly interesting and at the same time scary and confusing. So yeah, just really takes you on a whirlwind. Number 34 is the last person you talked to. I guess that's saying like the last person you spoke to in person. It was someone at my work. Right now there is summer school going on at my school, so it was the lady who is coordinating the summer school program. And then number 35 is the relationship between you and the last person you texted. The last person I texted was another person from summer school. She is one of the assessors. She assesses students for different things. Anyway, she had asked me if I was good at fixing things. They had like a little lantern that some kid was playing with, and I guess they like ripped it apart, so the wires were not working. So I tried to fix it and I broke it even more. One of the wires like completely detached. So I texted her and I was like, I am so sorry, I tried, but the wires were so small that I could not like fix it. Anyway, so she's just a coworker who I work with during summer school. Number 36 is your favorite food. Your favorite food. I think, honestly, probably ice cream is my favorite, at least when it comes to sweet treats. I love pizza. I love potatoes in many forms. Baked potato, french fries, mashed potatoes. I love pasta. Basically, any form of carb would be my favorite food. Number 37 is a place you want to visit. Other than Disney World, which I want to visit every day of every year, I really would love to go to Europe, specifically like the England area, Paris, London, anywhere in that space of Europe. I think it's just really awesome. I love cities, so I would love to see European cities. Yeah, I think that would be the place that I would want to go, is just somewhere in Europe, the UK area and France and all that jazz. And number 38 is the last place that you were. I guess work. I was at work today and then I came straight home. If I'm talking about like the last place that I went on a trip, it would be when I went to South Dakota this summer. You can check out my vlog on my channel. I did a whispered voiceover of some clips from the trip. Number 39 is, do you have a crush? Yes, I have a crush on my husband. Don't tell him, it's a secret. I'm just kidding. Haha. Number 40 is the last time you kissed someone. Probably yesterday. I'm sure I kissed my husband at some point last night. I did not kiss him before work this morning, but probably last night. Number 41 is the last time you were insulted. probably yesterday. This is gonna sound horrible. My husband and I maybe like to make fun of each other and insult each other, all out of good fun and all within boundaries. It's not like we're out here like calling each other stupid or like truly making fun of each other, but we will definitely poke fun at each other, if that makes sense. Like a lot of sarcasm, a lot of snarky remarks. So I'm sure that he probably said something insulting to me in a loving way. Okay. Number 42 is your favorite flavor of sweets. I am a big fan of blue raspberry or green apple when it comes to candies. It depends on the candy. Some things I prefer the blue raspberry, some things I prefer green apple. I also enjoy any red flavor, so cherry, strawberry, watermelon. So after green apple and blue raspberry is like any of the red flavors, if that makes sense. Maybe that's too many answers. Number 43 is, what instruments do you play? I would not say that I actually can play any instruments, but I have a keyboard, like a piano, and I can do some very basic things like scales and very, very basic songs, but I could not pick up a piece of sheet music and play it. I am not capable of that. I also have a ukulele, and very similar to the piano, I cannot actually play any songs. I just have it, and I like to try to mess around with it every once in a while, but I don't technically play any instruments. Number 44 is your favorite piece of jewelry. I'm gonna have to go with the wedding ring. I love my wedding ring. I knew that I wanted the circle with the halo design. We went into the ring shop and picked out a few rings for me to try on, but I was just so set on this style. I knew right away, and there was no changing my mind. And my wedding band is separate. I do not have my rings soldered together, so my rings are separate, and I just have a plain wedding band. I would love to get more wedding bands, whether it be for like a 5-year anniversary gift, or if we do have kids as like a push present or whatever, because I would love to be able to kind of change around the design that I have without getting a completely different ring. But for now, this is what I have. And then if I was not talking about my wedding ring, I love a plain hoop earring, but a small hoop. That's a favorite of mine. And then I also have a necklace and a bracelet. They are just like diamonds. It's a tennis bracelet set. Sorry if you just heard my stomach. So it's a tennis necklace and bracelet set from Kendra Scott. Oh my gosh. That my husband bought me when we were on a vacation. We went on a trip the day after he proposed, and he bought me the necklace he bought me the bracelet during this trip. So that reminds me of the engagement, and then he bought me the necklace so that I could wear it for our wedding. So I wore the necklace and the matching bracelet. I am really stumbling over my words. He bought me the necklace and the bracelet, and I wore them both for our wedding, and they matched the ring perfectly. So that's a favorite of mine as well. Number 45 is the last sport you played. Probably kickball. Our students at my school love to play kickball, but we are a very small school, so it's usually students versus adults when we play, and I'm sure that we played that during the last couple of days of school. Number 46 is the last song you sang. I have been listening to what's it called? Burn It Down. Something like that by Alex Warren and Joe Jonas. I've been singing that song all day long. And Ordinary by Alex Warren. Those two songs have just been on repeat in my head today. So that was the last songs that I was singing. Number 47 is your favorite pickup line. I literally have no idea. I couldn't even think of one off the top of my head. I don't think I've ever used a pickup line in my life, which is the next question is, have you ever used it? I don't think so. I have never been a very flirty person, and if I ever talk to someone, I'm just being straightforward with them and not using pickup lines, so I couldn't even tell you one if I had to. Number 49 is the last time you hung out with someone other than my husband. We went out on Friday night and we hung out outside of our house, which rarely happens, but other than that, I went over to my parents' house and we did a family game night. So it was my parents, my husband, me, and my sister. And we ate some dinner and played some games. And that was like 2 weeks ago. Other than that, I just don't really hang out with people. So, I don't know. And number 50 is who should answer these questions next. I would say anyone who wants to. If you feel like answering these questions, go for it. If I remember to, I might tag some people down below that I think would enjoy doing this style of video, but I think anyone can do it and everyone should do it. Feel free to answer some of these questions down below if you want to as well. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys learned something new about me and that it was relaxing or just entertaining. If you did enjoy it, give it a like down below. If you are not already, feel free to subscribe and join our family. I hope to see you guys in the next video, and I hope you have a great rest of your day or night. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.